The interesting thing about data centers today is that everything we've learned in the last 40 years around the design, construction, and operation of data centers has become redundant. The new generation of data centers we're building are operating with workloads and with power densities that have never seen before. At Dell Technologies, we're working hard on innovating across a whole range of different technologies to support this new generation of data centers. We're thinking about cooling technologies, we're thinking about compute technologies, we're designing new generations of racks to support today over 200 kilowatts per rack, moving to 480 kilowatts probably by the end of this year, up to megawatt racks probably by the end of next year. And this is really changing the way that we think about data center operations. On the cooling side, we're moving from traditional air-cooled systems to fully liquid-cooled systems. If we just go back 8 years in time, the average rack of computers used about 8 kilowatts of power and was air-cooled. Now, as we think about 200, 400, 1,000 kilowatt racks, we need to move to complete liquid cooling environments. This is really changing the way that we think about operating data centers. And we're having to think about the impact of that on the sources of energy that we use, how we're going to integrate with the grid, what technologies we're going to need to enable data centers to become active grid participants, working in partnership with electric utility companies, and also taking responsibility for their own generating assets behind the meter, their own storage assets, and often renewable energy assets as well, integrating these things all together. What's really interesting is that with our broad portfolio of AI solutions built on the Dell AI Factory with NVIDIA, we're seeing deployment of these solutions at all scales. People tend to think of the huge neo-cloud providers taking tens of thousands of GPUs, but we're seeing a huge amount of demand from enterprises that are looking to deploy AI factories within their own environments. We're seeing demand from governments who are looking to deploy sovereign AI capabilities. But as we think about how we manage energy and how we manage the carbon intensity of AI and ensure that we're placing the minimum amount of stress on the grid and indeed supporting the reliability, resilience, affordability and sustainability of the grid, we're starting to see distributed inferencing system placed where power and infrastructure is available. So through our modular data center offerings, we're able to build 1 to 4 megawatt data centers with 500 to 1,000 GPUs, co-locate those with the substation where 98% of the time there's plenty of available power, and then we can scale back the power profiles of those systems when the grid is under demand. We're also seeing micro-level distributed infrastructure where maybe 8, 16, 24 GPUs are deployed in a single unit, aggregated together to deliver tens or hundreds of thousands of compute nodes available for distributed infrastructure. And even at the nanoscale, where people are looking at how we can take advantage of aggregating together single GPUs across tens of thousands of locations to build that aggregated performant infrastructure while minimizing the carbon intensity of operations and leveraging every electron that's available on the grid. Dell Technologies, one of the things that we hear commonly from customers is the challenge of operationalizing AI. Many companies have got lots of AI projects running. They've provided a little bit of infrastructure to some very smart data scientists and researchers who've come up with some really interesting innovations. The challenge comes when people try to operationalize those innovations in a scalable fashion. At Dell, we recognize this challenge and we built the Dell AI Factory with NVIDIA to solve this exact problem by bringing together data, storage infrastructure, networking, compute, models, and services. We can help companies operationalize and deliver their AI outcomes at a massively accelerated pace, where all of the innovation happens on a common set of infrastructure that can be easily scaled to deliver the AI outcomes that companies are looking for. At Dell Technologies, we've been around for 40 years and we've established ourselves as a leader that's ready for the AI generation. And we've been transforming our business to support the new generation of solutions that customers are looking for. But when I think about it from an energy vertical point of view, there are really two dimensions that I think about. The first is energy for AI. How are we going to organize energy systems to provide all of the energy that's needed for AI and to locate AI infrastructure in locations that will enable us to support increasing the reliability, resilience, sustainability, and affordability of our energy system? But the second dimension is AI for energy. There's an enormous opportunity for AI to help operate and optimize our energy systems globally, whether it's the integration of renewable energy to the grid, whether it's the management of long-duration energy systems to help balance grid demand and ensure that we can match the available electrons on the grid to demand, or whether it's supporting and ensuring that consumers have reliable, affordable energy that they depend on. Dell is helping develop with our partners the systems and solutions that will be needed to ensure a bright energy future for all.